Hey everyone, this is a CAN spam compliance overview video for Client Builder. I want you to understand that I'm not a lawyer and I'm not providing legal advice to any of you. You have to take the responsibility of checking out the CAN Spam Act yourself. However, having done this for many years, and since 1996, actually almost 20 years now, I can tell you the basic overview things that you need to know, just the basic stuff, so that you can be compliant. It's not hard, and I'm going to go over it right now and hopefully enlighten you as to what you need to do to make sure that your messages are compliant with the CAN Spam Act. Once again, I'm not a lawyer, but I am very experienced at this. There's just a few things that are the main components of compliance. I'm going to go over them one by one right now, and then we'll go over a message just to kind of underscore how to set up a good message. These are the primary elements for compliance. Do not use false or misleading header information. Back in 2003, when the CAN Spam Act was developed, there were a lot of people out there using proxies, so you couldn't tell where the message originated from. Technically, you can still get proxies that will hide your point of origin online. I don't think anybody watching this is really that technically sophisticated, but if somebody ever offers you to sell you proxies or tell you that you can go get proxies to be able to send lots of email, then to hide your point of where you're sending it from, just remember not to do it. Nothing that we're involved in with Client Builder hides the point of origin, and it has, what we're doing is like a million miles away from using proxies. But there are a few of you that are technically savvy and you understand what I'm talking about, and so you cannot hide your point of origin, which is typically port 25 or its equivalent. So anyway, nothing that we're doing has anything to do with this, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention it, so that's what I'm going to mention. Our system here in Client Builder, it doesn't even allow for you to even enter in proxies, so it's not possible for you to even use them. So let's go on to the next one. Do not use deceptive subject lines. Okay, so it must refer directly to message content. So if you've got a message like I've got here, the subject line, best dog training in America, or best dog training supplies, let's put that in America, then the message down here has, and I'll show it to you in a minute, has to do with dog training supplies. Okay, now the quintessential bad subject line that was used when this was first brought up was "remember me from last night." Okay, so if you put in "remember me from last night" or something like that into a subject line, and then you're trying to sell something to that person, just to get them to open up the subject, that is exactly what is against the CAN Spam Act. You will actually see some of that baiting people that don't understand how to set up emails. Even I've seen even gurus that are out there marketing stuff online do this, and it's actually illegal. So whatever you do, don't create a subject line that is not congruent with your message body. It needs to point directly to the information inside your message body, and that is the second portion here. So identify the message as an advertisement. Okay, so I usually put in "this ad from" in brackets, and I'll talk to you more about that in a second as we go down to the message body. But you have to say that it's an ad, an advertisement, or a commercial message is another term. that's acceptable so that you comply with the CAN-SPAM Act. Inform recipients of where you're located. You need to have a physical mailing address. Now, some people think that you can actually use a P.O. box. No, you cannot. You'll actually see websites that tell you can do this. But let me tell you, I know the lawyer that wrote the CAN-SPAM Act, and I've actually had a conversation with him about this subject. And I thanked him for writing it this way, where he actually came up with the term physical mailing address. Yes, he does live here in Denver. And the whole idea was that the government did not want people to use P.O. boxes because they could get away with anonymity back then. And the people that were doing bulk mail didn't want to give their actual physical address of where they live because potential reprisal from crazy people. So the way he wrote it was physical mailing address. Now what this means is that you can go and you can get an address at a UPS store or a private mailbox store and use it. And that was the compromise that the government and the industry came to during that time. And we talked about it. He explained it to me, which I already relatively understood it anyway, but he explained why he did that, and I personally thanked him for doing that at that time. This is a really cool thing that the industry was able to obtain so that people wouldn't have to put in their actual home address according to federal law. So I'll get to a little bit more on that, show you that in a minute. Inform recipients of how to opt out of receiving future messages. You need an opt-out link inside your message to be compliant with the CAN-SPAM Act. Now, if you're sending out 50, 60 messages and or something through your Gmail account and you don't have an opt-out link, is somebody going to come beat down your door and are you going to be in trouble? No, it's done all the time. Quite frankly, the government has almost never taken anybody to task over the CAN-SPAM Act in all of the years that it's been around, unless they were doing something absolutely, crazy. So, do you still need to have one? Yes. Would I be remiss if I told you didn't have to have one? Yes. So what I'm saying is we show you in a different video how to set up an opt-out link with a WordPress, a couple of WordPress plugins that are free. It's really easy to do, and you don't want to irritate people. You do, ethically, you want to give them the chance to remove. So you need to set up an opt-out link and then honor opt-out requests within 10 days. The CAN-SPAM Act says you have 10 days to remove somebody. You could legally email them all of those 10 days. But on that 10th day, you got to take them out of your list and never email them again. That's what the CAN-SPAM Act says. Okay, so here's the subject line. I just wrote this: Best Dog Training Supplies in America. So this is to give you an idea of how a good email message would be set up. Okay, you have a subject line: Best Dog Training Supplies in America, and this is a dog training supply company, and they've come in and they're looking for dog training as a key word, let's say, for instance, in the search domains in a client builder. And sure enough, they pull some in, and they've got a domain name, bestdogtraining.com. And I'll just read this to you really quick. I understand you're just registered a domain named bestdogtraining.com. Our company, Best Dog Training Supplies, can provide you with the best agility, obedience, and other related dog training supplies at the best prices in America. No, really. We would love to show you what we have to offer and help you launch your business. You can reach us anytime you always want to have your link to your website in there. And there it is, bestdogtrainingsupplies.com. We are celebrating our 5th year of business. Tells the person, hey, you've been around a while, you're not a fly-by-night company. Yours and dog business success. Something cute and funny that creates an emotional memory anchor at the end is really a nice strategy. And then you put Best Dog Training Supplies. Down here, for compliancy purposes, you put this ad from, or something similar. You could put this advertisement from, or you could put this is a commercial message from, and then you put the name of the company that sent it and your address. Okay, notice I got Suite 500 here because that's what a lot of UPS stores do. Okay, I could put in, number 500 or whatever, but this is typically what you see. And if you go take a look at bulk email that you're receiving, you'll look down. Well, sometimes it's in real small print, but you'll see this down at the bottom of the page, and then you may see a variety of different things down here. If you wish to no longer receive, and then your domain, which is probably going to be the same one, right? bestdogtrainingsupplies.com, or maybe it's different. And then if you wish to no longer receive, www dot your domain, whichever one you're sending from. All right, so if you're sending from xyz.com, you would have xyz.com/RMV. So I don't ever put the word remove in my message body, ever, because there's people and companies that will literally look for that word remove and filter on it. So if you want to get into inboxes better, then these are some of the strategies that you would use. So you wouldn't say this is an advertisement in the message body. You would say something similar but still compliant, like this ad from, and put some brackets around it so that it's harder for people to filter it out. And you will get into the inbox much easier. These are just little strategies to make sure that you penetrate into that inbox. So don't use /remove, put /RMV or something else that equates to it. You could even use the word exit if you want. So if you wish to exit our list, for instance, you could put here instead of if you wish to no longer receive. So these are just little strategies that will help you get into the inbox and help you set up your message so that you are more effective in it. So back to the subject line. Okay, best dog training supplies in America. This obviously points to this message body. Now, the strategy whenever you're doing email marketing is to make that subject line so that that person that's receiving it is going to almost certainly open it. All right, so they've got to be interested enough or curious enough to open that that email message among the other 50 email messages that they've got. Now, if you're a dog supply company or a dog training company and you see something like this that says dog training in it, well, guess what? You're almost certainly going to open it. Best dog training supplies. Wow, I just opened a business that's got, I'm doing dog training. This is speaking to me. See what I'm saying? So you want a subject line that you fully believe is going to make that person interested enough and or curious enough to open the email. Next strategy is to create an email that is going to make that person interested enough to go to your website. So I'm not really selling so much in this message body. The whole message body is saying, hey, we believe that there's some synergy here. You need us. You really should get a hold of us. Go to our website. And that's where the selling is done. You don't sell inside the message body. Now, there's a fine line between making people interested enough to go to your website and selling, but I think you get the idea, at least generally, from what I'm doing here. Okay, you've given the reader a real reason why they should go to your website. They just open a business that has, dog training. They need supplies. Okay, so provide people what they really need, and don't beat them over the head with sales in your email message, and guess what? You'll get them to go to your website. So this is how it's done, everybody. You create a good subject line that's going to make them open. You create a good message body that's going to make them interested enough to go to your website, where then you do the selling and do the best you can to collect their email address and or do other communication with you. And you do it compliantly by setting up this format and making sure that you don't put in trigger words like advertisement or remove. Now, could you put in advertisement? Yes, but you will get some people to filter you out that way. I don't do that. And then just whatever you do, don't put in the word remove, because a lot of your email will not get delivered. So this is the way to do it, and to be compliant, and to put in some extra little brackets here to make sure that you're not filtered out as well down here in the add from, to make sure that your email gets delivered, and to do this properly and to do it compliantly. And one last thing, always make sure that if you're sending out any quantity that you've got this remove link. Be ethical about what you're doing. If you can do all of these things, you'll be very successful. The truth is if you have lists, whether you get them from Client Builder or wherever you get them, and you send out email and you have something decent to market to people, if you can do that, you really don't need to know anything else in this world to be successful and wealthy. I am here to testify to that. This is the essence of 21st century communication, and I want to make sure that you do it right. And with Client Builder and the list that you have, and setting things up correctly, you should be able to do very well in your business. Thank you for watching.